Hi, welcome to this session of CodeRage 8. My name is Girish Patil. I'm the founder of Gnostice Information Technologies, and to tell you what we do, I should tell you what some people referred to us as at a recent Delphi developer conference. They called us the PDF guys, and I realized it can be written as TPDF guys. Anyway, jokes apart, that statement captures much of what we do. However, now we are expanding or extending our type to the document processing people by providing tools and components to enable developers to process documents of all formats. And that's what we're going to see today, the new document processing technology from Gnostice. Here's our plan for the session. First, we'll take a brief look at how this new technology came about. And Extreme Document Studio is what we call this new technology. We'll see the vision we have for this product and the initial goals we set for ourselves to achieve. Then we'll take a tour of the product through demos and close with general product information and Q&A. So, the background. Many of you may know our products, eDoc Engine and PDF Toolkit. eDoc Engine solved the document creation problem quite well. It supported creation of multiple document formats and also provided multiple ways of creating them. It also supported exporting reports to all these document formats without you having to write any code. So eDoc Engine was all about document creation. PDF Toolkit, on the other hand, was all about working with PDF files. Viewing, printing, converting, merging, splitting, and performing some simple edits and so on. Both eDoc Engine and PDF Toolkit were developed around the same time. And we knew it right then that there was a need for a product that integrated all the functionality of both these products and which supported multiple formats. Our ideas were validated when users of these two products started to ask us about new requirements. For example, users wanted to use an existing PDF as a template, write the actual report content onto the template and produce the final PDF. Another example was that they wanted to convert a report to PDF, merge it with other documents, and produce the final PDF. And if all of this could be done in a single API set and in a single product, it would be far more easier and more elegant. We actually solved this for one format by providing a single product for doing everything with PDF files. This was the PDF1 product that was for .NET and for Java. And then it was time to realize the bigger vision, Extreme Document Studio. So the vision is really obvious by now, but let me say it one more time. The vision is to enable software developers to implement everything they want to do with documents that their business applications need to get done by providing an integrated native multi-format document processing library. And our first goal in this direction is to provide a real solid and powerful product for multi-format document viewing, printing, and conversion. Okay, let's see the product in action now. So first, these are the components of Extreme Document Studio: document viewer, document printer, document converter, and the DB document viewer. We'll start with the viewer demo and load in some documents into it different kinds of documents and see how it performs. So first I'm going to load some docx files. Here's a document with different kinds of paragraphs with different kinds of alignments and margins and line spacing. And here's a document with different kinds of fonts used and font styling like underline, bold, italics, and font colors. And here's one where different styles are used like heading 1, heading 2, and so on. And here's one with columns. So this is just to show the features of the document viewer to load different kinds of docx files that use different kinds of docx features. And here's one with images, also with a little bit of different text wrapping styles used. Now into the same viewer I'm going to load a TIFF file. So this is a multi-page TIFF. It loads up just as it loaded up the docx file, and you have all the features like zooming in, zooming out, and then navigating the pages. Let's move on to viewing PDF files. Here's a file with different kinds of fonts used, and again the same viewer with all the same features available to view the document. And here's one PDF with a few pages with some text and images, and this one here with bookmarks. So the bookmark navigation pane automatically shows up if a document contains bookmarks. Okay, let's go see what's in this demo. So first of all, here's the viewer component, and let's go see the APIs first. Okay, as you would see in any other file related class in the VCM, the document viewer has these similar looking methods or similar named methods to load a file, that is load from file and from stream, and then to just discard the document you have close document, and then you have the methods to navigate pages and methods to zoom the view, methods to rotate the page, that is the view of the page, and other properties to get the state of the viewer as to what page is shown and how many pages are there in the document, and other properties. And this one particular property I would like to show you, that is the password related property. So this is to configure how the viewer should handle password protected files. So we can set up the viewer to show a built-in dialog to accept the password from the user, and we can do that by just setting these properties. That is to show the dialog and how many tries we want to give to the user to enter the correct password. And then let's look at the events. So the only events that we have used here are the events to update the page number into the edit box here, and also the current zoom level into the edit box over here. That was the viewer, but how did all the navigation and the toolbar activities take place? So for that we have a set of actions, standard actions provided. Let's go see what they are through this. So the viewer registers several standard actions to set up a toolbar for the viewer. So loading document, closing it, and then setting the zoom level, navigating the pages, and rotating the pages as well. So by using these actions, we can set up a toolbar without having to write any code. Right, so that's basically it for the viewer itself. Now to move on to the other demos, let's go and get some fundamentals on the design and the architecture of the product. Okay, so first, it may be useful to know what goals we set ourselves when architecting and designing the product. And the first one is minimum components and APIs. And you could see that in the brief demo that we saw and the tool palette itself, that there are only about 4 components, and we want to keep this to a minimum as we move forward enhancing the product as well. And it was the same set of APIs for operating on all different formats that the viewer supported. And about customizability, we had the password related properties where you could just set the properties to enable the password dialog and how many tries the user should get to try and enter the correct password without having to write any code on that. And we still have the events to have control of how the viewer should respond to user actions. Lastly, we wanted to build a system that could be extended through pluggable modules that would integrate smoothly into the bigger architecture of the product. We'll get to see the extendability of the product in the next few demos. And this is how the layering of the modules is, and it's applicable both to Delphi and C++ Builder, although it says Delphi at the bottom. So on top of the RTL, the common core layer of Extreme Document Studio sits, and this core layer contains all the platform independent plumbing and the helper modules. On top of that is the layer that contains the engines that actually do the reading and writing of documents, and these engines get bound to the appropriate component framework, that is the VCL or FireMonkey, at compile time, depending on the target platform the application is being compiled to. Top of this is the layer that contains the platform-specific controls, such as the viewer, printer, converter, and the other components that we will have in the future. The important point to take away from this is that to support a new document format within the framework, we just need to write the engine for that new format, which will do the reading and writing of that document, and register it into the framework to get all the other functionality automatically, such as the viewing, printing, converting capabilities. We'll see an example of this in the next set of demos. So, how do we extend the system to support a new format? Here's the basic information for that. Let's start with the base class for the document engines, the TGT document class. So to implement support for a new format, we need to descend our new class from TGT document, implement the reading and writing of the format, and implement the load, save, and get page methods. Then we need to descend a new class from TGT page that our new document class will return an object of on the call to the get page method. This new page class represents the pages of our new document format, and it needs to implement the draw method that will draw the page onto the supplied canvas. Then, to tell the system that there is a new document engine, we register our new document class using the register document method on the global framework object. And the last item on the list here is the base class for viewer classes. Our component users need not worry about this, as the product comes with viewers implemented for different kinds of documents. And we are using the word kind here to differentiate documents based on their internal structure or layout, such as fixed layout documents like PDF or flow layout documents like Word and HTML. The viewer infrastructure for these document kinds is already in place, and we wouldn't need to write another viewer kind unless we have another kind of document, such as maybe a spreadsheet document. So it's not important at this point for us. Okay, let's move on to the rest of the demos now, starting with the converter, then viewing of a new custom format, followed by document printing, and then an example of using the document viewer in a real-world business application. I'm opening the document converter demo. Let's open the form. So the interface that you see here is all plain VCL forms programming, and we have put the user interface components and code into a frame, and we are reusing the frames in our C++ builder and Delphi demos. But where the interaction is with the Gnostice components, we have written it all in C++. So here's the document converter component. Not too many properties at this point, and it has a few powerful methods. The convert to file and convert to stream methods, and the converter provides several events through which we can inspect and customize the conversion process if we like. Let's take a closer look at the convert to file method. It has 4 overloads, 2 to pass file names and 2 for passing streams, and in those you can pass a single file or a list of files. And the one we have used here is the third variant, where we have passed a list of files. So input file, output file format, and the folder to output the generated file, and the base file name in case we are generating images. That's when this will be useful. Now let's run this program and see what happens. And also, to understand what we can do through the events, I've set some breakpoints in the event handler code. So run with debugging. I will select some files, some docx files first. This one, maybe another one, and maybe one more file, which is a PDF. And I'm going to convert to a multi-page TIFF file. I'm going to leave the option to convert and merge the files together into a single output file, and the output is going to go into this folder. So let's start conversion, and the first event that fires is the begin job event, which tells us how many files have been selected for conversion. We can use this information to set up the progress bar. And then the next event is the begin input document. So at the start of every document that is picked up for conversion, this event fires, the begin input document event. And here I get the number of pages in that input document. So if I want another progress bar to set up how the progress for this individual document is going, or how the conversion progress for this individual document is going, I can do that. And then on the end of each page that is converted, I get an event, which is the end page event. And there I can update the progress bar to say that page was done. So let me just let this to run and complete. Okay, it's done. So the file is here. Let's go see. It was going to be a multi-page TIFF file with 7
documents. So we can see that the first one was alignments, and then we had the one with images, and then we had the one with fonts. So a docx and PDF were merged together and a TIFF file was produced. Okay, there's one more thing I want to show here about the events. So if you see, all the events follow a uniform model where there are only two parameters coming into the event. So one is, as usual, with every VCL component, the sender, and one other parameter which is the event args. And this is uniform across all component events of Extreme Document Studio. So there are a couple of advantages of this. One is that there are not a lot of parameters at the top level, but we still can get the details through the event args parameter, which is actually of a class type. And the second advantage is that from our side, we can send in new information into the event as we go along, enhancing the product by adding new parameters and properties to this class and still not break user code. And I should say about this utility or this demo, it's turned out to be quite useful for us internally, and I use it all the time whenever I need to email a bunch of scanned documents or some other files. I can merge them all together and send it across. Okay, so this was about converting to image formats, but it would be more useful if we could convert a docx document and image documents to PDF files. And that is what our next demo is about, converting all or any of these formats to PDF. Let's open that out. First, what you might notice is it's identical to the earlier demo that we saw. The only change is that now you can select PDF as the output type. And the code change here is also really minimal. In the main form, there's absolutely no code change. It's the same code. Even the call to the convert to file method is the same, just that through the user interface, the format changes to what the user has selected. And all the magic of converting to PDF is happening in the file wrapped by this header file. Let's go see that file. And we need to open a Delphi source file here, and I'll explain the main parts of it. So first, notice that this demo has been called the custom format converter. It's called custom currently because the ability to create and write PDF files is not integrated into Extreme Document Studio. And while we do that, we have created an extension using our other product, eDoc Engine, which supports generation of PDF documents. And we have plugged this extension into the Extreme Document Studio framework. So as explained earlier in the slides, to process a new document format, we need to descend from the base class, which is the base document class, implement the read and write and register the new document class with the framework. Now the existing PDF document processor in Extreme Document Studio only implements the reading logic, and that is this one. So this class has been descended from document, the base document class, and it implements currently only the reading mechanism. So we descend from that class and provide the saving functionality using eDoc Engine. The base PDF document class already has all the pages as meta files because it needs to supply that anyway to the viewer. So in the same method, we are just using all those meta files, setting all the properties on eDoc Engine's PDF engine, and then simply using eDoc Engine's capability to convert meta files to PDF. And We're just saving the document. So after doing that, we are registering our new handler as the handler for the PDF format. So this new class has the ability to read as well as write PDF documents, and it replaces the old one. So whatever was there before is not disturbed. So let's run this and convert some documents. Now I'm going to pick up those same docx files, and this time let's convert them to different files. So each of them into different PDF files. Oh, it's all done. And it also loads automatically because that capability is there in eDoc engine. So this was the one with images. We can see that. And one with columns, one with paragraphs, and one with different fonts. Oh, this is the one with paragraphs. So this was all achieved without any word automation or using a virtual printer driver. It's all Delphi code, or it's all VCL code, I should say. Okay, now along similar lines as this one, how do we implement support for a completely new format and use all the existing infrastructure in place for viewing, printing, and conversion? And that's what the next demo is about. Let me close some of these. Maybe. Okay, so in this demo, we are going to implement support for viewing fast report preview files. We need to go to Delphi code one more time to see the implementation of this handler. Okay, here are the steps. So as we saw in the slides, so first we need to extend from the base document class and the page class, create our new classes. That's here. And then we implement the load get page count and get page methods in the document. And that's done here. So load from file. And what do we do there? We just load the supplied file into the fast report class that will handle the preview file. So we are actually making use of fast report to handle its own file and give us meta files. Okay, so the other methods, which is get page count and get page is the important one. Let's see that. So this one returns our new page class. Okay, and once that is done, what happens in the page? Let's look at that. The main one is the draw method, and the draw method uses the fast report class to draw the report pages onto the supplied canvas. That is right here. Once that implementation is done, we register the new class and the associated format into the framework using the register document method on the framework. That's it. And as for the viewer demo itself, it's identical to the first demo that we saw, which was for viewing the standard formats. There's no change in code or in the design. Okay, so for this one, I won't be running it through C++ Builder because I don't have fast report installed in my IDE. So I have a compiled demo compiled on another system. So I'm going to use that to load the fast report file. And you just need to believe me that it all works as you can see it here. So this is a fast report file, a sample file that we have. And let's load it. Okay, it's loaded, and we get the same interface to operate on the fast report file as well. So this is how easy it is to implement support for new file formats into the system and have them take advantage of the capabilities of the framework, which is viewing, printing, and converting. Okay, let me close this. And the next demo, let's move on to that one. So it's about printing documents. So in this demo, we have used the document viewer to show a preview of the selected document, and we have set up other components to select the printer and set other properties on the document printer, which is here. And the document printer has some properties to set the position of the document page on the paper. So we have some options to customize that, and also how do we want to scale the document page onto the paper. We can set that. And the method to invoke to start printing is this one here, print document, passing the input file name and the pages we want to print, and if there is a password for the file, the password. And apart from this, the document printer provides us some events to inspect and intervene in the process of printing. And again, with the events, the same model continues, just 2 parameters, and all the information coming into the event comes in through the event args parameter. Okay, let's set some breakpoints in the event handler code and run this code. Let's see, maybe this one. Run with debugging. Okay, select a PDF file. So the document is loaded into the preview, which is nothing but the document viewer component, and my default printer here is the XPS document writer. We have set the option to automatically rotate this page to suit the printer's orientation. So the printer is set to portrait, and the document printer will take care of rotating the pages if the pages in the document are laid out in landscape. Okay, so let's select only some of the pages. So maybe 10, and then okay, the last page. Let's print. So first event that is fired is the begin job event. Again, we get information as to how many pages have been selected for printing. So it's 9, yeah, 1 to 7, 10, and 70. And this is the total page count of the document. And this is the actual page range that I entered. So we can use this to set up our progress. Let's continue running. Yes, I have to go and enter the file name for the XPS file. Let me change this one with slight variation. 2. And the next event that is fired is the end page. So let's actually disable these breakpoints and let the program run, because we know how the events work. Similar to the converter, we get all the information through the events. We can update our progress, or we can cancel the printer if we like and do some other operations. So it is sending all the pages to the printer, that is the XPS document writer. Almost there. Yes, completed. Let's go see the actual output. So here I think, yes. So the pages have been rotated automatically and there is no scaling done because we want it all printed to original size. Okay, let's move on to our last demo that shows us a simple implementation of the document viewer in a real-world scenario. Let's understand the scenario first. So, one, we are creating an accounting software and it could be a commercial product or an internal application. The accounting software, let's say, needs to record details of financial transactions. And those financial transactions are going to have documents associated with them, and they could be receipts, invoices, account statements, and so on. And the need here is to store the documentation or proofs for those transactions within the accounting software so that it is much easier and more convenient and time-saving to have the documentation also visible when we view the transaction records. And to make that possible, Extreme Document Studio provides us a database document viewer using which we can implement this scenario quite easily. Okay, let's open the main form of this demo. So here is the DB document viewer. It has all the functionality of the non-data aware document viewer. In addition to that, it has these two properties as any other traditional data aware VCL component, the data source and data field properties. So this way the DB document viewer can load files stored in a blob field, and when the data set is put into edit mode and you load a new document into the viewer, it can also write back the loaded document into the blob field. Let's run this application. Okay, so as I browse through the records in the database, I can see the documentation or the documents associated with the transactions also visible at the same time. Okay, we are done with all our demos. I hope you could get a good understanding of the capabilities of Extreme Document Studio through these demos, and hope you could appreciate our approach to the problem. Okay, Extreme Document Studio editions. We have made an edition just out of the viewing, printing, and conversion features based on popular demand. And then there's the Ultimate Edition, which has all the features of the View, Print, Convert edition and will have the document creation and editing features in the future. And the Ultimate Edition is the one that comes with source code. We really want to make it easy for everyone to use this product whenever it comes to document processing. And here's the price per developer for a royalty-free license. So, these are the features of the current version that we just saw: viewing, printing, and conversion capability, and the DB document viewer. And what's our roadmap for the product for 2014? First up, we are at work on the FireMonkey support for these components, and we expect to release the first version with FireMonkey support in March, which will also include add-ons for importing documents into reports, and later in the year we will have the document creation and document editing support along with other improvements. We have a special offer for CodeRage on our Extreme Dev System subscription. Extreme Dev System is a bundle of all our Delphi and C++ Builder compatible developer tools, and we are offering a $100 discount on the bundle until March 14th this year. To get this special price, please log on to www.Gnostice.com/CodeRage. That's it from me. Thank you.